Okay, this time we're going to talk about synthetic division. It's another way to divide polynomials, but it is a much easier method. We just have to be careful here in that we are only going to be able to use synthetic division when our divisor, which is what we're dividing by here, is either just x minus a or x plus a. Okay, so because I'm dividing by x minus 3 here, I'm going to go ahead and use synthetic division. And here's how it works. We're going to, in a box out to the side, we are going to put what the 0 of this would be. So if I were to set this x minus 3 equal to 0, what would I get? I would get positive 3. That is what's going to go in the box. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the coefficients of what I'm dividing here, and I'm going to write those across the top next to this. So I'm going to have 2, negative 7. Now again, just like long division, you need to be careful here in that if you have a missing term, you need a placeholder. So I've got 2x to the third. I've got negative 7x squared. I do not have an x term, so I'm going to put in a 0 here to represent a spot for my x term. And then I'm going to put 5. Okay, so that's my cubic term, my squared term, the linear term, and the constant term. All of those coefficients across the top. I'm going to save some space here. I'm going to draw a line. And then we are going to proceed with our process of synthetic division. And it goes like this. Whatever your first number is, you just drop that straight below the line. So 2 comes straight down. Then you take that number, you multiply by the number in the box, and you write that in the next slot over on top of the line. So 2 times 3 is 6, and I'm going to write that here. And then I'm going to add down this row, so down this column. Negative 7 plus 6 is negative 1. And then I'm going to repeat that same process. Negative 1 times 3. Put that here. And then add down the column. 0 plus negative 3 is negative 3. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Put that here. Add down that column. Negative 4. I'm going to put a box around this last number every time I do this. This last number right here, that is always the remainder. When using synthetic division, when it comes to finding zeros of a polynomial, which is going to be an important aspect of using synthetic division, you are going to want that remainder to be 0. That does not mean every time you do synthetic division the remainder has to be 0. It just means that if x minus 3 is a factor of this, then it will be a remainder of 0, and that will be something that we want later on. So there's our remainder. And then since we took something that was cubic, 2x to the third, and we divided by a linear thing, x minus 3, what happens is you go down 1 degree. So this was an x cubed, now it's an x squared. So what I have is 2x squared minus 1x minus 3, and then a remainder, so I'm just going to say plus negative 4 over what we divided by, which was x minus 3. So be careful, don't say over 3, say over x minus 3, because that's what we actually divided by. And that is my answer using synthetic division. It's a much easier, quicker method than long division, but we need that divisor to be either x minus a or x plus a in order to use that.